Good morning, everyone. Today, we will be practicing a shorter vinyasa sequence. No particular props should be needed. But that said, grab anything that will make you feel comfortable. We're going to be working towards dancer's pose today. And before we get moving, I'd like to share a little bit of a theme, something that feels quite alive for me at this moment. So last evening, we were going out to dinner for our last night in southern Portugal here. And unfortunately, our rental car was broken into. And I'm sharing this not to have a woe is me moment, nor am I sharing this for toxic positivity, but something that really does help me move throughout this human experience is to recognize that there really are no mistakes. So it's, of course, very reasonable, and we had those moments of being quite upset. We definitely had some choice words for the people that broke into our car. And it was an inconvenience. It was not a good thing in so many ways. But I am grateful that both my partner and I have the reframe in our mind quite quickly that, what if, because that happened to us, we now know in the future how to be a little bit more careful. Maybe this moment had to happen to prevent a bigger incident in the future. Maybe that had to happen to us so that we can communicate it to our Airbnb hosts, who can then communicate it to others. So perhaps this had to happen so that whatever is coming next could unfold in a more flow and easy state. So I'm not insinuating that when something unfortunate happens to us, we can't have those moments of, oh, fuck, that really wasn't what I wanted it to be. But what I am saying is it really benefits us as we move throughout this human experience to recognize that perhaps there are no coincidences. There is no such thing as a random event. Every single action that we do or do not do does affect the whole in some way. Maybe we took that wrong turn so that we could avoid a car accident. Maybe we took a different pathway. We sat in a different cafe to meet a person we were supposed to meet. There's no such thing as random. There's no such thing as coincidence. And my hope is that we can all understand the higher perspective, even in those moments where it's very challenging to do so. So, keep it or leave it, but that's what feels alive for me today. And with that, we will come into a child's pose, opening the knees wide enough so that the torso can rest really heavy between the inner thighs. And just allow the forehead to be heavy, without trying to fix anything, without trying to change anything. Can you just begin to notice, really honestly, where you are starting from? Welcoming everything that's here, so everything has a place. If your thoughts are running wild, that's welcome. Notice that. If your body feels really tight, if it's speaking quite loudly to you, notice that. If you feel a state of ease and general contentment in this moment, notice that. None of those states are a more valuable place to be. Let's take one big clearing breath together. Full inhale through the nose. Exhale, big sigh, let it out the mouth. Seal the lips. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Continue with that breath count as we move throughout the class, prioritizing your inward experience. Feel free to keep the eyes closed as you gently make your way to a tabletop position, shifting your shoulders above the wrists, hips above the knees. And use your first few rounds of breath here to simply move the body in any way it wants to move. Let every inquisitive movement be a tool for self-observation. Eventually, finding stillness, finding a neutral spine. Spread your 10 fingers wide, hug the navel up and in. Inhale, lower the belly down towards the ground. Spread through the sit bones, spread through the collarbones, lift your gaze. Exhale, navel towards the spine, chin towards the chest, round the back body. Twice more, just like that. Inhale, lower the belly down towards the ground, spread through the sit bones, spread through the collarbones, lift your gaze. Exhale, navel towards the spine, round the back body. Last round, full inhale. And a full exhale. Inhale to a neutral spine. And we're going to do a few cat-cow rolls to child's pose with toes curled under. We'll do the first round really slow. So as you inhale, you lower the belly down towards the floor, tilt the tail, and then press into the hands. Shift your hips back towards your heels. Toes can be curled under. And then as you exhale, we'll come forward with a rounded spine, chin towards the chest, create that dome in the upper back, and then slowly shift forward towards tabletop with the shoulders above the wrists. So we'll keep moving just like that. Inhale, lower the belly, tilt the tail, hips back towards the heels. Exhale, round forward. Twice more just like that, your pace. Last round. Inhale to a neutral spine, and then slowly lower all the way onto the belly with control. Palms right by the low ribs, elbows hug inwards towards the side bodies. 3 rounds of rolling cobra. Tailbone towards the heels, navel up and in slightly. And then keep the gaze at the bridge of the nose so the neck stays long. Follow an exhale all the way out. Inhale, lift the chest, Bhujangasana, baby cobra. Exhale, heart to the earth. Twice more just like that. Inhale, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulders tight. Exhale, lower it down. Once again, just like that. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. And then open your arms wider. Come up on tented fingertips. Elbow tips point upwards towards the sky or towards the ceiling. Once again, inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower your right ear, your right cheek down towards the ground. Gaze over the left shoulder. We'll be here for just a moment. You can keep your elbows pointed upwards towards the sky so that you do begin to feel this opening in the front of, more specifically, the right shoulder. Inhale through center. Exhale, lower the left ear, the left cheek down towards the ground. Gaze over the right. One breath, one movement. Inhale through center. Exhale, lower the right shoulder down. Inhale through center. Exhale, lower the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, slowly lower the belly all the way down to the ground with control. And then we'll rise up to Sphinx pose, bringing your elbows right underneath the shoulders. Your forearms extend from the elbows, so you're in the number 11. We'll do some gentle neck movements. With an inhale, begin to shift your gaze upwards. Exhale, chin towards your chest. Inhale, right ear towards the right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale to the left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. One more round. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, right ear to the right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale to neutral. And now we'll bend our right leg. So you can stay right here, right heel to the glute. Or rather, first, let's bring our right fingertips towards the left palm. Press through that connection. And then we'll bend our left heel to the glute. Sorry about that, folks. And you can keep yourself exactly as you are right here, or you can bring your left hand towards your left foot, applying a little bit more pressure, bringing that heel to the glute. If you have quite a bit of mobility in your shoulder, in the quadricep, then you might begin to point your left fingertips downwards towards the ground. We have a tendency to collapse the right shoulder by the right ear, so see if you can keep lifting through the chest. We'll be here for just a few rounds of breath. And slowly, without catapulting that left foot, we'll go ahead and release it. Briefly come back to Sphinx pose. And then bring your left fingertips towards your right palm. Bend your right leg, right heel to glute. You can choose to stay exactly as you are, or bring your right hand towards your right foot, and then apply any amount of pressure, heel towards the glute. Keep pressing through the left forearm so you are broad through the heart space, through the chest. And very slowly, very gently release that right foot. Sphinx pose, and then crocodile pose, opening the elbows wide, stacking your hands on top of one another, forehead to the hands. Close the eyes. and notice how you breathe. Feel free to wiggle the hips a little bit from side to side, releasing any tension that may have accumulated in the low back. And then bring the palms right by the low ribs, elbows hug inwards towards the side bodies. Curl your toes behind you. With an exhale, you can rise up through plank, child's pose, or tabletop. And then glide the hips up and back, downward facing dog. First downward dog of the practice together. Feel free to pedal through the heels. You could sway the hips a little bit from side to side. Do whatever movement patterns you need to really arrive into this first shape. Letting the breath inform the body. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale, big sigh, let it out the mouth. Slowly walk forward to a gentle forward fold. Feet can be hip distance apart or maybe even wider. And then bend the legs a lot, so much so that the upper body can really rest heavy on the thighs. Feel free to sway the upper body a little bit from side to side. Shaking the head yes, shaking the head no. Releasing any unnecessary tension. And then keeping that soft bend in the legs, slowly, vertebra by vertebra, begin to lift the torso, rise all the way up with control. We'll move through 3 rounds of Sun A. Relax your arms by your side, tailbone towards the heels, navel up and in. Inhale, reach the arms all the way overhead, palms to touch. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen through the spine. Hands to the floor, step your feet back to a plank. Big inhale here. Exhale, lower down, knees, chest, forehead. Inhale, ripple forward, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, glide the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Press the ground actively away from you. Deepen the connection to your breath. Next inhalation, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to the top of the mat. Lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, chest to thighs, fold forward. Inhale, root to rise, reach the arms all the way overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift the chest, halfway lift. Hands to the floor, step your feet back to a plank. Big inhale. Exhale, lower down, your option. Inhale, lift the heart, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, glide the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, walk, step, or hop your feet forward, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, chest to thighs, fold forward. Inhale, root to rise, reach the arms all the way overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold. Inhale, lift the chest, halfway lift. Hands to the floor, step the feet back to a plank. Full inhale. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, lift the heart, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, glide the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Next inhale, walk, step, or hop your feet forward, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, chest to thighs, fold forward. Inhale, root to rise, reach the arms all the way overhead, stand tall. Exhale, hands to the heart. Coming into dancer's pose, just like we did on the ground. Ground through all four corners of your left foot, and then bring your right heel to the glute, right hand to the right foot, extending your left bicep by the left ear. So you can choose to stay exactly as you are right here, or begin to kick your right foot into your right hand any amount. Extending the chest, the belly button downwards, but continually lifting through the center of the heart. Find one soft and steady point of focus with the eyes. Most importantly, stay with your breath. Slowly begin to lift the torso, rise all the way up. And then gently releasing your right foot. Give it a shake. Give it a wiggle. Let everything go. And as you're ready, we'll now transition our body weight to the right foot. Left heel to glute. Left hand towards your left foot. Extend the right bicep by the right ear. And then begin to kick your left foot into the left hand any amount. Continually lifting through the center of the chest. Right bicep by the right ear, or you could choose to bring it to your heart or extend it forward, whatever feels right. One more slow breath cycle. And gently release. Give it a shake, give it a wiggle. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale, big sigh, let it out the mouth. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Bend the knees, reach the arms high. Tailbone towards the heels, navel up and in, biceps by the ears, but keep lifting through the center of the heart. You can choose to stay exactly as you are right here. Or you can bring your hands through to the center of the heart. Either way, we'll slowly begin to sink the hips all the way down towards the ground until we're in the smallest squat that we could be, before eventually plopping your feet down to the earth. Good. Then plant your feet down to the ground. Extend your arms long out in front of you. Very slowly, you'll begin to soften the back body down towards the ground, vertebra by vertebra. And then find a point that you don't really want to stay at. Staying with the breath. Pausing right here. Feeling the core engage, but choosing the breath regardless. Slowly soften the back body down towards the ground. Feet to touch, knees out wide. Left hand to the heart, right hand to the low belly. Close the eyes. Physically connect to the way you breathe. Gently guide the knees inwards towards the chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. You can sway a little bit from side to side, releasing any tension in the low back that may have accumulated. And then open the arms wide, arms out to a T. Shift your hips 1 or 2 inches to the left, knees in close to the chest, and lower the knees to the right, spinal twist. You can choose to keep the neck neutral, or you could choose to look over either shoulder. We're here for only a few cycles of breath, so let yourself settle in fully. Next, inhale, bring the knees back inwards towards the midline. Shift the hips 1 or 2 inches to the right. Knees in close. And lower the knees to the left, spinal twist. Finding your shape. And then allowing the breath to move the body. You get to be this very curious observer. Next inhalation, bring the knees back inwards towards the midline. Knees towards the shoulders, big toes to touch. You can choose to stay right here or extend your ankles above the knees. Receive your feet from the inner edges as you gently sway your hips from side to side. Any last movements that your body is craving before your final Shavasana, I encourage you to take them. Otherwise, allow yourself to find the most important shape of the class, final Shavasana. Extending your right foot to the right corner of the mat, left foot to the left corner of the mat. Arms relaxed by the side bodies, palms face up. Gifting yourself at least a few minutes here to simply rest. It is here where I will leave you. Thank you so much for practicing. I hope to see you soon.